All right, guys. So welcome to the session, and I hope all of you guys are doing good. So let's get started with today's session. Today's session will be for 1 hour, where we are going to talk about generative AI, and also we are going to see some of the hands-on using ChatGPT that is coming from OpenAI. So let's get started. So basically, first of all, we'll talk about the introduction of Gen AI or generative AI. Now you can think it as a computer system. Again, I'm not sure how many of you guys are coming from technical background or non-technical background. So I'm assuming that many of you guys are coming from non-technical. So I'll try to explain this as a layman. So think of it as a computer system that can create new things. For example, writing the texts. Are you guys able to hear me, all of you? All right. Making images, composing music, or even generate the videos, right? So all those options can be leveraged using the generative AI. So it uses the pattern from the large amount of data to generate something new, right? So basically, based on the previous learnings, it is trying to come up with the outcome. For example, you can see that when we are writing an email in the Gmail, so you are getting a lot of texts. That is like a recommendation coming in. If I say hello, hi, how, so it will say are you, right? So it will understand automatically that okay, this can be the thing. So it uses pattern from large amount of data to generate something new, much like how humans create art, stories, or songs based on their experiences. Now there are various models which we have, right? There are various models which we have. One is known as GANs. The full form is generative, adversarial, network. So that is one of the models which we have. So it's something like, again, I'll try to explain as a layman. Imagine that we have two AI playing a game. I started the recording, yes, it's already going on. So one creates fake images while the other tries to detect if there are any fake or real, if that image is fake or real. And over the period of time, the fake image creator becomes so good that it becomes hard to tell the difference, right? So the idea is that we have, let's say, two AI systems. One creates the fake image while the other tries to detect if they are really fake or real. And over the period of time, the fake image creator will become so good that it will create very true images, which no one can tell whether it's fake or not. Second is we have VAEs. Now VAEs are variational autoencoders. Now these models learn to compress the data and then reconstruct it, like learning the essence of an image and recreating it from the summarized version. So that is again one of the models which we have. And the third one is transformers. This is a new and more advanced model used in the natural language processing like ChatGPT. It is using transformers understand and generate the human-like text by predicting what comes next in a sequence, like finishing your sentences. So these are the three models which are quite heavily used in the Gen AI. Now, generative AI begin with the basic model that could learn patterns, but the real boom happened recently with the advanced models like GANs and transformers. These models are rapidly evolved, allowing AI to create highly realistic images, videos, and text. Now, what is a ChatGPT? So ChatGPT is also one of the generative models. So ChatGPT is type of a generative AI designed to have conversations, answer questions, write text, help with coding, and much more. It is like an assistant which we can use in our day-to-day work, and at the same time, it can help us to solve a lot of complex problem statements as well. It is like a chatbot with a very knowledgeable friend, you can say, who can assist in our various tasks. I'll show you some of the examples when we'll talk about practically. Now, how this GPT works? The full form of GPT is Generative Pre-trained Transformer, right? So think of a GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformer, as a student trained of trained on massive amount of data, that is books, articles, websites, and so on. It learns the patterns and meanings in the text. So when you ask it something, it uses what it learned to generate response. Now there are two processes while doing this training, right? There are two processes. One is your pre-training process, and second is your fine-tuning process. Now pre-training process is what? Imagine teaching the AI by giving it access to giant library. It reads everything to understand language patterns like grammars, facts, and relationships between the words. And fine tuning is like, it's a step which is like preparing the AI for a specific exam. It is like a trained on more focused data with human feedback, because ChatGPT is more like a RLHF, reinforcement learning with human feedback. So it refined the answer and behavior, making it more useful in the real world applications. There are various use cases of ChatGPT. You can create your own customer chatbot, customer support chatbot, which will answer frequently asked questions or helping with product details. Content creation, people are using it now quite extensively, generating the marketing content, stories, and so on, creating the articles, blogs. Coding assistance. Suppose I am working on some code and I am not able to solve it, or I am getting some error. So I want to fix it. So I can take help from ChatGPT. Now, what are the real world application of generative AI? So obviously all related to texts, writing the books, articles, even scripts. Image creation, we can create a lot of real-time images. Music composing, real-time video creation, all those things can be done. We have personalized recommendation. In entertainment, we can use that. Ethical consideration are the challenges which we have to take care of. And again, in AI is quite heavily used in the entertainment industry as well. If you want to access this particular option of ChatGPT, so this is the website which we have, where you have to go to openai.com and you can create your own account here. So if you go to the products, we have this ChatGPT login. So this you can very well use. I can log into my account. As I already have my account, I logged in. And here you can see that we have various plans. One is the plus plan, and there is obviously business plan as well. But plus plan will cost you around $20 per month, which will give me all these options like access to OpenAI new model, which they have come up with, access to all the four models, GPT-4 models. I can do a lot of data analysis. I can create images and I can create our custom GPTs as well. So here is the one which we have. Now, what all things can be done? For example, let's say I'm writing one code and I'm facing some error in that code. So I can go and I can ask that, right? For example, let's say I have this code which I am putting in, and purposefully I missed this part of the code. Now I'm saying I am getting the error, fix this. So here it will understand the code, and based on the requirement, it will try to fix the code. So here you can see that it understood that the problem is here, and it is coming up with the alternate code, and this will run fine. Same way, suppose if you are a coder and you want to create your own application. So in that case, you can take help from GPT. For example, let's say I want to create a banking application. So I can say that I want to create a banking application where I can ask for the account creation, then your deposit, withdraw, and maybe deleting the account, deletion of the account. Create the code using object-oriented programming language. So it will create a basic structure, and then we can fine tune. We can ask that, okay, this is what created. So let's go ahead and make this change, that change, and so on. So let me open up the Jupyter notebook. Those guys coming from non-technical background, that's fine. Right? Just I'm giving you the idea. There's one of the examples. I'll show you some more examples. So here ChatGPT created the entire code. I can very well copy this code and I can paste it here, and you can see that it is running absolutely fine. If you want to understand the code, you can check it out what they have, what ChatGPT written, and based on that, what is your requirement, based on that you can change this code. That is one of the use cases for our developers who are developing the programs. For example, let's say we are new and we want to create our own resume, or you have your own resume, you want to redesign it. So here you can see this pin icon. I can attach the resume. Let's say I'll upload my resume. Yeah, here it is. And I will say create a one-pager resume with all the details which are relevant. So it is going to create a resume with all the details and which are relevant to us. So it is reading that document, and based on that, it is trying to give me the output. So it's creating one pager because my resume is around 4 or 5 pages. So it is trying to make it in a single page. So that is one of the use cases we have. Let's say I want to write an email to my customer support that, let's say I purchased the laptop and I did not like it. So I can write the email as well. Or I want to write an email to my manager that I did work on certain projects. Now I'm expecting a promotion or expecting a hike. So that type of email also can be written. For example, write an email to the manager. His name is Saurabh, and I want for the promotion. I want to ask for the promotion, and be as I worked on various projects. You can ask, you can write your projects as well. For example, I worked for Amex and increased the sales by 2x, worked for Celgene and reduce the expenses by 3x. So this way you can just give a brief idea, and based on that, it is going to write an email. And if you want any template, then yes, you can ask for the same and it will create the templates as well. So resume is one of the options which you may be using quite efficiently and quite regularly. Maybe your emails reply. Suppose let's say you are purchasing any product, someone like your client purchased any product. and he did not like the product. So now I want to respond back based on what feedback he has given to my product. For example, let's say this is the laptop, and here are the feedbacks you will see at the bottom. And for the 1-star customer, let's say this guy is not very much happy with the product he purchased. So first of all, I wanted to understand that what is the problem, why he did not like the product, right? So I can put it here and I can say what is the, or I can say, is the feedback positive or negative? If negative, give the reasons in point wise so that we can fix. So here it will understand. So the feedback provided is negative. Here you can see that it is negative. Here are the reasons: performance issues, dissatisfaction with purchase, lack of reliability, perception of poor quality, request for refund, steps to address the feedback. Now let's say I want to write an email to the customer, right? So the customer name was Nitesh, right? So I'll say, write the email to Nitesh, the customer, about the bad experience he had. Apology email, and also give him 75% discount on the next purchase. The coupon code is NIT75, right? So here it will write the email. This process is known as amplification. Basically, I gave only 3 lines, but based on the previous content, the feedback which we got, it is trying to amplify the output. And here you can see that whatever input we are passing, and based on that, it is generating the email. And that is looking very much okay. So that is one of the use case. Suppose you are in a meeting and you want to write a minutes of meeting. So that is one of the use case as well, which you can very well go with. You can ask for different language as well. It will be previous. So if I'm in this screen, right? If I'm in this screen, it is remembering all the previous chats. If I'm opening up a new screen, then it will be new chat altogether, right? So this is like previous chat. All the history is there, and it's understanding from the past chats. There is one more thing which I will share. So there is this whimsical diagrams, which is a customized chatbot which someone created. And I'm sure that many of you guys are coming from non-technical background and looking forward to learn coding as well. So this particular chatbot, which I'll ping you on the chat screen as well, this will definitely help you in the initial days of your programming. The idea is basically it is helping me to create the flowcharts. For example, let's say I want to create a logic for factorial of a number. How to calculate the factorial of a number using Python programming. But before that, we have to understand the flowchart, right? So what we'll do is we'll ask for the same. I want to write a program which will calculate the factorial of a number. If the number is negative, I want the output as there is no factorial of a negative number. And if the number is positive, I want the factorial. And if the number is 0, the factorial is 1. So it will create the entire flowchart. As of now, it is creating the code itself. So I have to tell that no, I don't want the code, I want the flowchart. Obviously, it will create the code as well. So here I can say create the flowchart. ChatGPT is a transformer, pre-trained transformer. That is what I already mentioned. So here you can see that the flowchart coming in. I can very well click on this whimsical website and it will give me the entire flowchart, which again will be very beneficial for you for the initial days of programming language, right? So that is one of the use cases. You can search in the net also. If it's not opening up, you can just search in the net and you can check whimsical. I'll share this link. Yes, what I will use this particular. I'm using this one, right? Which one? This one. I'll share both the links. That's fine. So that is the idea. That is one of the use cases which I am very much asking my learners to do that, because this is, we are going to use quite extensively. The interesting thing which I feel is the data analysis. Can we use ChatGPT for Excel formulas? We can ask for the ask ChatGPT to understand, like give me the solution of the Excel or PowerPoint, but there are extensions also available which can help you to connect your Microsoft and Google Sheets and Docs with the ChatGPT. I'll come to that, right? How we can do that. So here I can say data analysis. So again, I'm clicking on this attach file and let's say from my desktop, I am choosing one of the files that is tips.csv, for example, which consists of certain data. So I'll ask what's there in the file. So it will give me the entire understanding first, that what is there in the file. It reads PDF or every file, right? Whichever file you are giving, it will read. It will definitely read and give me the output. Let me just open up the new screen. What's there in the file? Is it possible to get enabled in FIS? That you have to check with your management. Is it better to use the extension provided by ChatGPT or directly using ChatGPT itself? Extension as in what? With the PPTs and all. So we have the API concept. We'll come to that. Just wait for some time. So here you can see that it is giving me the understanding about what all data you have on that particular file. The best part is that if I want to understand the data more in detail, for example, here you can see we have a sex column. So I wanted to understand what is the total sales by gender. So I can get that. What is the total sales by gender? And create the bar chart for the same. Right. So here you can see that internally it is running your Python code and it is generating the chart as well. So these are some of the interesting insights. And at the same time, you can see at the bottom, it is suggesting also that what type of analysis we can do. Show total tips by gender, display average bill amount by day. So if I click on that, it will give me the output for that. So it is suggesting based on the data that you can get this type of information as well. But it is not advisable to use your, what do you say, business data, because as of now, it's not very much sure that how ChatGPT is treating it, whether it is storing or whether the OpenAI is capturing that information and whether they are deleting it or not later on. So it is not advisable to use your confidential data. That is for sure. But if again, if you are stuck somewhere on your project, what I normally suggest my learner is that you can go ahead and you can create a dummy data from your data, and then you can go ahead and you can ask for the suggestions. And then once you are getting the suggestions, you can use that in your company's data in your local machine or in your client's machine. So that you can very well go with. It is available in 4 So this data analysis option is available in not in the 4, but I can say the paid version. Here you can see, right, this plan $20. There you will get this option. So that is one of the use cases which we have, which is again quite people are using now, as in for learning purpose, obviously, with their dummy data. But if company wants, they are creating their own GPTs, right? So again, that is one of the job opportunities coming in where you have to create your own GPTs, and at that time you will need AI developers. So that is one of the job profiles. Gemini or ChatGPT, which is better? I feel this one, ChatGPT is better because again, I'm using it quite extensively, and I used Gemini as well, but this I preferred. This is my preferred choice rather. I can create the pictures as well, or let's say I have a picture and I want to get insights from that picture. Right? For example, I click on this and let's say what's there in this. Okay, anyways, let's take that picture only. I don't find any picture. So let's say this one. What's there in this picture? Given detail, right? So there's a picture where someone is standing in at the gym and coming in. So let's see what's coming in. So unable to view the directly. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me come up with one textual picture. Just give me a second. Uh, Balance sheet. For example, I'll take maybe this one, right? Copy and Control V. What is this picture? So there's a picture of Apple balance sheet. So let's see what's coming in here. So here you can see Apple Inc. consolidated balance sheet. It's giving me the entire details about it. If I open up this picture, you can see that here, let's focus on certain number, right? For example, let's say this number, let's say that is a term debt. So September 26, 2020, what is the term debt? So let's ask, what is the term debt on September 26, 2020? So what was the number? The number was 98667. So here you can see that it is giving me 98667. Current liabilities, current non-current liabilities. So that information is coming in. So it is able to read the pictures, and based on that, it will give me the output as well. Okay. Now, apart from that, what all options are there? We can create the images also. For example, let's say I have to create a picture where kids are playing cricket and it's night time where they are enjoying. Also, there is a full moon. They are playing on the beach and mountains are also there. Can we create the PPT by providing details? You can create, but the outcome which you get is not very, what do you say, clean. Right? I'll show you this also. Here you can see. So the picture is coming in. We can ask for create one more picture, more realistic. There are other generative tools are available, which is specifically for the PPTs and documentations. But here the PPT which I will get is not very much, what is it, not very much presentable. For example, let's get the tips data again. Create the, do the analysis about sales based on various features. Create the PPT at the end. Put all the charts in the PPT. So it will first do all the analysis. After that, it will go ahead and create the PPT. We can create the documents as well, yes. In place of PPT, if you want the documentation, that is also possible. We can compare two documents. Yes, absolutely. We can compare two documents. So here you can see that the file coming in. Let me just click and download. Here you go. So you can see that the entire charts coming in with all the details. So that is how we can export into the PPT as well. Now, the next part here is that if I go back to the OpenAI website in the products, you can see there is one option called API login. Now, API is what? API is basically nothing but whatever learning this ChatGPT has, right? Whatever model we have for ChatGPT, I want to connect this with some external application. For example, let's say I want to connect this API with Python, or I want to connect this API with Google Sheets, or I want to connect this with maybe Microsoft Excel or maybe PowerPoint, right? So I can very well connect the power of ChatGPT with all the various applications. For example, let's say I want to create my own website or own application. And for that, I'm using Python. And I want to integrate that chatbot functionality as well with the help of ChatGPT model. So I can connect Python with the ChatGPT model, the API. There is a package which you have to install in Python, which is known as OpenAI. So once you install that, you can very well have the integration of Python with ChatGPT. And this website, whatever question you will ask, Python will hit the ChatGPT, and based on that, the output will be coming in. Right. So this is very much possible. I have created one application as well where we had one database. Again, this for just the learning purpose because we are not using the client's data. But for we had the MySQL same API. Only one API is there which I can use for everything. Excel, Python, and all. I'll show you that account also. Give me a second. So MySQL, I had the database and I created one Python application. And whatever, let's say in this particular data, we have all the retail store data, the sales data. So in Python, I have created the application. I can ask any question in English. It is hitting the database creating the SQL query, hitting the database, getting the output, and throwing the output, all through ChatGPT API. So this is also possible, which I have created. I cannot show that now because it's as of now not working because I have to edit that. But I'll show you that application somewhere. I guess I have. I think this one. This is one of the applications. It will not run as of now because I have to change APIs and all. But this application is there where I can pass the prompt. How many employees are there? So it will hit your this thing, right? Your database. API will hit the database, create the SQL query, and hit the database, get the output, and throw the output here. Right? It will throw the output. So that type of application also we can create using ChatGPT. But yes, as of now for the sensitive data we cannot. But over the period of time, I think that will be also fine. People can use that. So to get this access to the API, you have to go to this products and API login. And once you log in, it will help me to create the API. So you have two options, ChatGPT and API. Click on that. And here you will get an option. So they keep changing the website look. So I'll just check. Here you will see somewhere. API reference. API keys. Here you can see, right? Once I click on the dashboard, API keys, and here I have created certain APIs. So I'll click on create a new secret key. Let's say SkillUpRight. And this is my key, right? I'll copy this and you can see this key here. So this is your key, which you have to pass in your application. For example, I have shown you, right? I have this particular chatbot which I have created in Python. So here this API key will be passed. Here I have to pass the entire API key. Same way I can pass this in the Excel as well. As of now, this functionality is only available in the 365, Microsoft 365. Once you go and log in with Microsoft 365, here you can see there is an option of add-ins. And once you click on this add-ins and you search for GPTs, so you can see all these options coming in. If I search for GPT, so all these options coming in. So one of the GPTs which I have is GPT for Excel Word. So I click on that. It's not opening up as of now. Here you can see. So it is opening up. You have to pay certain amount for this also. So there is no free on this. You have to pay something. And here there is an option of adding the key. Somewhere there is an option. Okay, I have to buy, I guess. And after that, I have to add the key. So that is one of the options which we have in Excel and PowerPoint and Word. You can do this. Same way if you are using the Google Sheets. So cost will be involved. When you are using the API, cost will be involved. First is to purchase that extension, and second is how much input you are passing and how much output the ChatGPT is giving. So it's like a token concept. So based on the usage of your tokens, it is going to charge. So here I click on again on Google Sheets, let's say. Extensions, add-ons, get add-ons. I already have this GPT for Sheets and Docs. You have to go to get add-ons and look for GPT. So all the extensions which are specifically for GPT will be coming in. I have installed this one. Again, this is going to be a charge. They are not giving it for free. So I click on this, open. Here you can see the page coming in. Initially this was free, but now they are charging. And here you will see there is one option to update API keys, right? Here you have to pass the API key. Change, and I can pass my API key, the new one. And it is integratable with all the other this thing also. Yeah, all the other models as well. There are various GPT functions, right? As of now, I don't think, okay, I have the amount left. So let's try to see this. For example, let's say GPT, right? So if I say GPT, hi, how are you? Error coming in. I think it's not working. Let's copy this part. Here you can see we have to pass in a double quotes. I passed in a single quote. So hi, how are you? So based on that, it will respond. So hello, I am a computer program, so I don't have feelings, but I am here and ready to help you. How can I assist you today? So that confirms that yes, we are now connected with the chatbot. So now there are various functions here which we have, and we can leverage that. I'll show you some of the functions. For example, classify. Here you can see that GPT underscore classify. Banana, is banana fruit or vegetable? Right. So I'm classifying it. So suppose let's say you are having a lot of products and you want to classify that, whether it's a, I'll give you for example, TV, fridge, laptop, sofa, right? Pen. Now I want to classify that which belongs to which category. I can say GPT classify this guy, comma, is it electronics or furniture or office supply? So it is looking for TV. So TV should be electronics. So let's see what coming in. Still loading. So you can ignore this error. NA coming in. How it works. Comma, comma. That's fine, right? Let's pass technology. And let me drag it below. So it will do for all. Right? So fridge should be technology, laptop as well, sofa, furniture, pen, office supply. Okay, so that is how it is working. So I can classify based on the classify function. Same way we have other functions as well. GPT fill, let's split, list. So all those options are there. Again, when you click on these functions, it will give you all the documentation. If I click on the documentation, you will see all the functions out here, sample examples, sample videos, all those options are available here. So that is one of the options as well, which we have, right? So that is what we can do. That is what we can do using the APIs. I can integrate with Python. I can integrate with, no, spelling will, as such, spelling will not be a problem. It will understand. Okay. So that is what I wanted to discuss. Any doubts you have, let me know. Again, it's a brief 40-45 minute session. Wanted to give you the idea that all these things can be done. We can leverage a lot of things. Yes, the idea is that as of now, for the confidential data, it is not. Excel formula, you can go to the GPT again. So you can ask for it, right? For example, where is the GPT? I want to concat two strings in Excel. How can we do that? Let's say we have first name and last name. Show some examples. Also export the Excel sheet for reference. GPT formulas are available in your Excel also, but again, there also we have to pay, right? I have shown you that, and it is applicable only for the 365. So here you can see that it's downloaded this, and in this Excel you will have the logic as well. This is one of the example of concatenation. You can write some complex logic as well. So here you can see the output coming in. In fact, it is only giving the output. So I have to tell that I want the formula as well in the Excel. So I'll say when you are giving the output, have the Excel formula as well. Actually, here you can see what it is doing. It is trying to do the concatenation in Python. So this I have to change the prompt again. It did not understand, looks like. It is doing in Python, right? So I have to say that I want to do the concatenation in Excel using Excel formula, where I have to concatenate first name and last name. Also export that Excel file for reference of Excel formula. Maybe it is not able to solve that. And in that case, you can see here, it is doing the same thing. Maybe I think it is only going to solve using Python. What you can say that, do one thing. Which formula can we use to concatenate two strings in Excel, Microsoft Excel? So here maybe it will guide us, right? So here you can see formula giving in A2 ampersand space ampersand B2, or concatenate function, or text join function. So that is how it is giving us the suggestions. So if you are looking for some complex coding, again, you can ask for it, that this is what my requirement is and I want out. So which formula can I use? Okay. So that is the idea. Any doubts, let me know. Prompt key is a key role. Prompt plays a key role, obviously. And again, if you remember, I told about the API. So API is what? API is a cost. As in, whatever input I am passing, that will be a cost. And at the same time, what is the output coming in? That will be a cost. So if the prompt is not correct, you are unnecessarily giving the wrong prompt, and that is gonna be a cost. So that's why prompt engineering is one of the job roles which is quite extensively coming in, where they are trying to create a prompt. For example, let's say you are having a website, right? And in website, your end user is passing certain prompt which is not making any sense. So it's a cost on you, or not on the customer. So you have to give them the suggestions of the prompts, that these are the prompts which you can pass to get the relevant insights. So that is the job role, which is very important. So passing the correct prompt is one of the important criteria to save cost, because again, it just, we are not talking about the one or two prompts. When there are good amount of traffic on your website, let's say million people coming in, so it's a big cost for you, right? So all those things are very important. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. We'll see you in the next session. Till then, take care, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask us. Absolutely, we have still 5 minutes. How to get a variety of chat GPT prompts? Again, that comes with practice. At the same time, you will get a lot of blogs. You can go and check it out there. As such, there is no documentation from OpenAI. ChatGPT is free, yes. In fact, ChatGPT 4 is also free now, if I'm not wrong, because in ChatGPT website 3 is not coming in. That documentation you have checked on the OpenAI website. Can we use Copilot in Word and Excel? I'm not sure. I'm not using Copilot, so I just used Gemini. There was one more. This was there, right, from Google Bard. I used Bard and I used ChatGPT. So ChatGPT was good, so I'm using that. All right. So have a nice day. We'll see you in the next session sometime. Till then, take care, guys.